Hello everybody, this is Jean. Today I'm doing weeks 14 to 16 of Kylie Crew's Positivity deck. I am a bit behind and these three cards are all just very simple collages. So I struggled a bit with the first word, stretch. I thought about things like physical stretching and stretching yourself to do more. And then just recently I was listening to someone talking about stretching yourself wider to include more people. And so that's what my card is representing, someone who's stretching themselves to include the whole world, if you like. I start with a piece of paper that I've used to put excess paint on, and I use my ATC frame just to get a rough idea of the size, and then cut it to size, and then glue it to my already prepared card. I've already chosen my focal points, so I'm just trying them out here, auditioning them on the page. Then I decide the background's too colourful, so I brayer on some white gesso and then dry it. And then I missed out the bit for some reason where I stuck them on, but you know how to stick things on. And now I'm going around the outside with some Stabilo and just smudging it. And then I go around again with some water on a little paintbrush just to fade it out a bit more. Also go around the globe, the picture of the world. And then I want to write the word stretch. I decided to do it. I tried various different alphabet things, letters, but I decided to write it in the end, and I decided to stretch the writing out. So I just put little marks between to make it look as if it was stretched. And then finally, I think I went round the outside with black StazOn ink. The next word is energy. And I had quite a lot to write down about energy. Started off by writing down the old equation that energy can't be created or destroyed, and then went on to think that perhaps if you want energy to do good things, you have to not waste it on negative thoughts. So if you want positive energy, you mustn't waste it on negative thoughts because there's only a finite amount of energy in the world. And I then went on to trying to think where I got my energy from. And although I'm old enough to know better, I've only really just realised recently that I am an introvert. I'm pretty much at the end of the introvert-extrovert spectrum, and I get my energy from being on my own, and there's nothing wrong with that, and that's okay. And so that's what this card is representing, me on my own, getting my energy in my own way. This time for my background, I started with a picture from a magazine of a night sky, but I forgot to record the first bit, so I've already stuck it down and cut it out. And then this is my picture of the way that I get my energy by being on my own, possibly reading, not necessarily by being with lots of other people. I want a bit of a border to it, so I stick it down on this paper, which I received in Happy Mail from Julie, Green Macaroni, as I did this bit of purple doily. And then this is a picture from a magazine of, well, it looks like energy to me. And so I just assemble all the bits together and write out the energy on my label maker. Then I trim this to size. And then eventually I decide I want to have a bit of a border, so I just put a white border of dashes around the outside of the card. And I outline the word energy in black fine liner. So this is the word renew, and of course there's all sorts of ways that you can think about renewing, especially at this time of year when life is beginning again and so on. So I wrote all those sorts of things, and then I thought about things like renewing your vows, renewing what the things that you've set out to do and maybe haven't done. And that made me think about examining your life, not just letting it go past you. And one of the ways I used to do this, and haven't done it for a long, long time, is by writing morning pages. Just a way of starting the day by writing down all the things that are on your mind and getting them out of your head. Going along with that, there is a religious practice of reviewing the day, and you do that in the evening before you go to sleep, and just review the day, not judging it, just review what's happened during the day. I think I'm better at morning pages than I am at reviewing the day, and so it's something I might want to go back to, and that's what my card represents this time. Both renewing my morning pages practice and also using it to renew my to-do list, if you like. Again, I start with a ready-made paper. This time it's a magazine page, which I used to make texture on some white gesso. So it's got white gesso all over it. And I just stick it to one of my ready-made cards and cut it out. And then I've got this picture, which I'm pretty sure it is sun. I think it's probably sun looking up through trees or something, but it looks like a sort of sunrise or a sunburst to me. I cut it up, I was just going to use the right-hand part of it, and then I realised I wanted the whole picture, so I stuck them both down with a little gap between, and that's okay. This is a picture that represents me writing my morning pages, and I use one of those nice doilies from Julie again, just to produce a little border around it, so I don't have to draw around it, just to make it stand out a bit more. This is another piece of that background paper from Julie that I'm putting there just for her to sit on. And then again I make the label, the renew label, in my label maker, and I do the same thing with that, put a little purple border around the outside of it. And once I decide where to put it, I think that's the end of that card also. Oh no, that's right, I do put a gelato, purple gelato border around it, so gelatos and then smudging all the way around. So that is the end of my 3 cards for this session. I'll say thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already done so, and click the little bell icon if you want notifications of future videos. There are some close-ups coming, and I'll see you all again soon. Bye.